Welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast. This is episode number 8. How's it going, Left Hand?
Hey, man, it's going great. How are you doing?
Good, good. It's February 14th, and I hope y'all enjoy this episode of Talking Lead.
Well, wait a minute. Did you just say February the 14th?
14th? Oh, crap.
Crap, man.
Valentine's Day.
Oh!
Ugh. Yeah, it is February 14th. It happened to fall on a Thursday.
How red are you right now?
I'm pretty red. It's the...
Did we forget something?
Yeah. No, well, we kind of made up for it.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. We usually record on Thursday, and this fell on a Thursday, so we would like to welcome some very special guests. We have Mrs. Zeke here, and we also have Left Hand's right hand, Pepper.
Pepper, welcome in, girls. Ladies.
How are y'all?
Hello.
So we didn't forget you on Valentine's Day.
We didn't. Hey, I wanted to give a shout-out to our buddies from up there in Canada, eh?
Hey, the Canucks.
Trevor and Brian.
Trevor and Brian.
They're great guys, eh? They said they want to come down and shoot with us, eh?
Love to have them down.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Maybe they can warm up.
We can teach them the redneck ways, eh?
I'm sure Canada has their own rednecks.
And as long as they bring beers. Beers are good.
What's that beer that, was it the McKinsey brothers? Is that, remember them back in the 80s?
Yeah. Strange Brew.
Strange Brew.
I love that movie. That was an awesome movie.
I got to watch that. I haven't watched that for years, decades.
I wonder if it has guns in it, we can review it on here.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It is Valentine's Day 2013.
And what about the traffic getting in tonight, too? The Predators are playing.
Gosh.
Good Lord.
Traffic was insane. We're
Who are the
actually getting a
Predators
late
playing,
start.
you know?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't keep up with it. You girls know?
I have no idea.
No.
Do they shoot guns at the Predators games?
They shoot those T-shirt
We're not
guns.
supposed to talk about it if they don't shoot guns.
Well, they've got the T-shirt gun.
Okay, that counts. I like the
Yeah.
Preds.
I guess they do that.
And our buddies up in Canada would like to come watch a Preds game, eh, too?
Hey, hockey.
Trevor, Brian, I loved your show. Great show. We really enjoyed it. Never heard you. I'd gotten turned on to you by Brian, and then a couple of guys at the Firearms Radio Network had talked about you, and I heard the show, and I have officially subscribed now.
I've been enjoying our banter
Canadian
back and forth with
Yeah.
Trevor and Canadian Reload Radio.
And Canadian
and-
Service Conditions Radio.
Yeah.
They've got their own little network, kind of like we've got, too, up there.
Yeah, kind of branched off.
We had another Second Amendment rally last week. That was pretty fun.
It was. It wasn't like the first one. I was a little disappointed in the turnout.
Well, yeah, and I was kind of disappointed in your turnout.
What are you talking about? I was there.
So
I showed
you were
up.
there. You did get there. You did get there.
I used my
Nashville-
GPS system.
Nashville is set up in a way where at one end of this long road is a giant courthouse, and at the other end of this long road is the state capitol, and they look very similar. And I kept looking for Left Hand, and a couple of other. We were all kind of like, where is Left Hand? And all of a sudden, I get a text. Where are you? I said, I'm in the back of the crowd. Come find me. I'm not hard to find.
And I said,
kinda
what
stick
crowd?
out. And he says, what crowd? Finally, he calls me, and he says, I'm walking around everywhere, and I don't see you. And it hits me. I'm like, are you at the courthouse? Dead silence. Oh, crap. So he had been walking
Had to
around in
hoof
circles. And the best thing was Hickok 45 goes, what has he been making left-hand turns the whole time?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I thought I was doing something good. I got a ride from my sweetheart over here. Pepper even dropped me off, so I thought I was, beating everybody. They get dropped off at the wrong place, and I still end up having to walk half a mile.
That was pretty funny. But yeah, it didn't have that great of a turnout. I mean, it was good that people came. It was freezing cold. A little bit of a mist going on. It was really cold. The good turnout for the kind of weather we had. Plus, it was a Friday work day at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as organized as the last one.
I think this was more of a layman rally.
Yeah, a little more laid back.
Were there any politicians there? I don't remember.
No, there weren't any politicians. We did have a jackwagon. You know what? He needs to be a part of our jackwagon train. We did have this young kid.
The jackwagoneer.
Oh, my gosh. This young kid shows up with an AR strapped to his back. In Tennessee, we have a handgun carry permit. It is against the law to carry a loaded rifle unless you're hunting. you can carry your handgun. You can even open carry your handgun if you want, if you've got the permit. But this kid walks up with a loaded AR.
You can transport a loaded rifle if you have your permit.
Right, but you can't carry it on your back.
You can transport it.
So this kid didn't read the laws. He didn't even look like he was 18. That's the thing that was really weird to me. And a few people even said maybe he was a plant. But
well, that's what I was thinking.
That's kind of speculation, but
But luckily there wasn't a lot of attention drawn to it.
Channel 4 got a little bit on it.
I only saw one story where somebody was actually covering that.
But everybody, it was just this sigh of, oh my gosh, because the state troopers ran up and they grabbed him and they took him inside the building. But that was the only little hiccup, really. That, and then it wasn't really well organized. We had just random people getting up and speaking as they felt like it. So.
But it was good to see a lot of the YouTubers and bloggers and podcasters there. You know, the guys from Gun Blast were there too.
Yeah, I saw those guys.
They weren't at the last one. I think they were at thing in California, the big gun show.
Oh, SHOT Show.
SHOT Show. Couldn't think of it. I think they were at SHOT Show last time, but they were there. And
Vegas, you mean?
Vegas. Yeah. SHOT Show. It's in Vegas. That's right.
So it was fun. That was kind of about all for me in Weekend Guns wise.
Well, as you've probably noticed, and some of our lead heads have noticed, I've been getting involved with this beauty contest, AR beauty contest.
You've lit a little fire.
So that's kind of what I've been doing this week. Is I've been posting my beauty pageant contestants. I guess I got 3 up right now.
Yeah, gorgeous.
More to come.
I like the way you've been wording it too.
Well, the first one I got a little flamboyant with it, but the last 2 have been pretty general. Yeah.
Well, that one guy got excited.
I just want to show people, hey, it's a fun thing. Have fun with it. Yeah, JB.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
You know, instead of corrections from last week, we didn't really have a whole lot because we're perfect. No, I'm just kidding. We're not perfect. Far from it. Very far from it. So instead of corrections, this week we're going to start something that a listener suggested.
Let's give him credit.
We are going to give him credit. I'll read a little bit of his email later on. But he suggested the Jackwagon train, and we're going to name the people on the Jackwagon train the Jackwagoneers.
Jackwagoneers.
This is not always going to be a politician, but there are going to be a few politicians, including the first one from today.
And this was one of his recommendations, and we unanimously agreed.
Yeah, it's and it could be someone who just did something stupid with guns that made the gun culture look bad, or just in general, somebody that deserves to be on the Jackwagon train.
New aspect to the show we're adding is the Jackwagoneer of the week.
Right, and this week she is our Jackwagon extraordinaire.
Let's have the lady say who it is.
You want to say who it is? She is a lady. You want to go ahead, Mrs. Zeke?
Sure. The first Jackwagoneer is Dianne Feinstein.
Dianne Feinstein. She's the Jackwagoneer train leader.
She is the biggest Jackwagoneer of them all as of today. I'm sure there'll be other ones. Of course, you and I were talking that we need to add one other one. Was that guy from the rally? So he's runner-up.
He's going to go hand in hand with Dianne Feinstein. The young guy that brought the IRA. The IRA? Wow. That was a fun rally.
He a wee bit Irish. The fact that he had a gun and he showed up to the rally, I'm going to give him credit for that, so he gets runner-up.
Let's go into the main meat and potatoes of the show.
Meat and taters.
This is our Guns and Love episode. As you notice, we brought our significant others in, Mrs. Zeke, and left hand's right hand. Pepper, we give this question to everybody. So, Pepper, let's let you go first. How'd you get into firearms?
Left hand.
Isn't it?
I get all the credit for that?
All the credit. I think
I've been getting your whole family into it, haven't I? I was talking to her dad earlier today. He's got me on the hunt. 380 or a small pocket gun, maybe a 9mm or something like that. Tracked down a couple today, and I've been on the phone off and on with him most of the day today. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Talk about your first experience.
My first
shooting the.
Was that the farm? Was the first place that we went, and I shot 9mm first.
You shot the Glock 9mm. And then you shot the Walther PPS, 9mm, and then
she shot your whole EDC check.
I shot 4 guns
Did she blow the
that day,
Did she blow the rape whistle on you?
And then you shot it's one of the beauty pageant contestants that I put in, the Spikes AR-15. We got a couple of shots of her, pictures of her,
and I got hit in the lip with that one.
Oh,
I think that
she got a little recoil.
Yeah. Hit in the lip.
But just once.
Just once. It was
After that, you had good control of it, didn't you?
My face was too close or something.
You were scared, weren't you, at first?
I was very scared.
Because you didn't know what to expect.
I did not know.
But then after you shot it, I mean, you were just like an old hat at it. You were doing good. I mean, she was putting the lead on target too, man. I mean, she was putting tight groups. We were probably 25 yards out. Man, I mean, for a first time shooting, I mean, she had groups. She actually had groups. I mean, they weren't splattered all over the place. So we still got that target too.
She rubbing in your face often?
No.
Like if somebody like beats you at the Battleship game and keeps
I
it
haven't
and
been
wants to
beat at
frame
Battleship.
it, and I don't know who that would be though.
Haven't been beat at Battleship.
She beat me.
But
First time or
then-
second time we played Battleship?
Second time.
Second time. Yeah, she kept it.
Well, I've noticed that just like in golf, women are good at shooting, just like they are at putting. I mean, have you noticed if you played golf with a woman? I mean, how they just naturally pick up putting and they can knock it right in the hole. I've noticed that with firearms as well.
Just as long as you don't make that comment that golf announcer made that one time about female golfers.
What was that?
Well, things getting in the way and didn't think that
Oh.
female golfers could get as much power behind their swing. Yeah, I don't think he works in the golf industry anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then she, talk about your progression.
Get my carry permit. I took the class, did great, passed it, flying colors, but my permit expired, so I didn't get my license. But I'm taking the class again.
Yeah, we got a class coming up, so she's going to get in that, get her back on track.
Did you like the class?
I did. I did like the class. I learned a lot. Yeah.
It's going to be more fun this time, I think. Well, it was pretty fun last
It
time
was
because you
fun.
took it with my brother and
Right.
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
This time she's going to take it with my sister and my brother-in-law.
Okay, I really got confused just then.
What's if you have your preference of guns? What do you think you're going to pick out?
I think was it a 380? Is that what it is? I shot that at David's the last time, and
Yeah.
I like that one. That was the
the
easiest.
Smith & Wesson Bodyguard.
Yeah.
She kind of liked the feel of it in her hand, little hands. We're going to look in that direction. Maybe Valentine's Day present.
Today's Valentine's Day, bud.
Hey, it's the gift. This is the holiday that keeps on giving.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I will say I went to a group meeting and I shot the gun. I believe it was the Dirty Harry shot.
The 44 mag?
Yeah.
Wow.
The
The
revolver.
revolver? Uh-huh.
And I hit all 5 shots were like right by the bullseye.
Nice.
I was pretty impressed with that.
Very cool.
And then I got scared.
Why did you get scared?
I don't know. I just did.
After 5 shots right on the bullseye, then I got scared.
That's like quitting when you're ahead,
Yeah.
I'm done. Proved my point.
Mrs. Zeke, how did you get into firearms? I know it wasn't me. I can't take that credit, but you've kind of been around them all your life, right?
I have. My dad actually was big into guns and got both me and my brother into it, and we'd go on the weekends and out to the farm and just shoot. And we did both handguns and rifles. I always like rifles better for some reason, but then
You were pretty good with my AR that day.
not bad.
Yeah, you're pretty badass.
I was a little hesitant at first.
Was that the Battleship that you smoked him in?
No, that was actually with my revolver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were using my 357 and I was using the Mr. 40.
Was that the day I was there, or was that a different day?
That was a different day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I got back into it with you because there was a long period there where I just,
Gunless.
I was gunless. So now that we've been getting into it, I have enjoyed it and got something special for Christmas.
You got a cool Christmas present. I'll post that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I wonder. I think the laser
purple
engraving
color
one.
fill.
Purple
Yeah.
color
9
fill.
millimeter.
So remember, I think we mentioned that in one of the episodes. What it was.
Yeah, because everybody was talking about. I would probably still carry it, even though it is purple color fill.
Yeah, it wouldn't stop you.
It's an awesome gun.
Mrs. Zeke's pretty competitive. Like I said, she smoked me on that Battleship game. What was funny? We took our handgun carry class together, and I love this. This is something that like really attracts me about her. She's kind of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff. And first, she was shooting with her little. She has a Taurus Ultralight 38 Special, and she was shooting that. And you saw her getting so frustrated. It wasn't like, oh gosh, I don't like this. I'm just going to put it down. No, she was like focused and just ticked off that she wasn't getting it right, and you'd see it in her eyes, like she was not going to leave the range until she was dead on perfect with it. It was awesome. It was kind of sexy.
Good. That's
Not
the way you
kind of.
gotta
It was
be.
very sexy.
Well, thank you.
That's right.
Yeah, but I will say that was one Battleship game. You didn't mention how many times that you've beaten me. I mean, that's just one abnormal day.
No, that wasn't abnormal. You smoked me on that one. And
Called
the-
improvement.
You know, and
That's
that's
right.
that Battleship Day goes to prove something we talked about in one of our other episodes. You know, all these guys. Well, it was the last episode. How these guys will bring their wives and girlfriends into gun shops and try to get them the smallest caliber, the tiniest pistol. She beat me with my 357 Magnum, which is a bigger, heavier. and than she would have with the 38 Special.
It's
but now she's
all
got
an individual
It is.
preference and comfort, ergonomics. So that's why you should always go out and shoot a bunch of different guns.
and you've been
You never know what's going to fit.
Fence
Like
for a
shoes, right, ladies?
shoot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to try on a bunch of different shoes before.
It's not the first pair.
No, it's never the first. Maybe you buy 2 or 3 pair, take them home with you, try them out.
One of
and
ours-
keep the receipt, and then you take back, maybe 1 pair.
I wish we could do that with guns.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No, I keep all mine. That's the problem. I'll buy guns thinking I'm going to trade them or sell them or something like that. But what do I end up doing?
Yeah,
Keep
keep 'em.
Yeah.
You've been in self-defense in some form or another for a while, too. Tell us a little bit about that.
I have. In college, I got into Taekwondo. Started out just kind of as a hobby, I guess, get good workout, something different, and ended up I worked at the school and ended up teaching a little bit and got my black belt, and so
Can you win a bunch of
Awesome.
competitions and stuff, too?
I did.
Yeah.
I won some competitions, and the competitive side of me came out, and
I don't need to pack heat. I just take her with me everywhere.
She is your concealed carry.
She's my
right?
concealed carry. Some guy comes up and robs me. I'm like, here, get him. So you won a few competitions?
That's great.
Do you have different colored belts? Do they do that in Taekwondo? What
They
color
do.
are you?
She just said she was a black belt.
yeah,
Oh.
I got the black belt. But yeah, it goes
So is that like the
from-
highest you can go?
Well,
I don't know anything about
it is, but then
karate
they
and
have
taekwondo.
degrees of black belt. So I was a first degree when I stopped, whereas on all the way up to 6th and 7th degree, which you
Then you be a complete BA.
yeah, exactly. You're
So are you-
amazing.
Are you continuing that?
I'm not. My senior year of college, I hurt my knee pretty bad, and actually doing Taekwondo, and I tried to come back, and it just didn't work very well.
Were you
so.
breaking Bricko blocks?
No, I was sparring actually, but I did break some stuff. I always enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
It
What was the
fun.
biggest
Is it
thing
like-
you broke? Besides hearts.
3 I don't know about that. Three boards at one time. That was pretty
2x4s?
Wow.
smaller than that.
That would be awesome.
So you just automatically increased 9 degrees by doing that. If you could do that. They're like, okay, she doesn't have to do any more testing.
Yep, she's good.
You're 9.
With it being Valentine's, we're going to kind of throw a lot of the questions at you guys. The official Rednecks, they want to know if we already found out you're involved in firearms. And how would you recommend someone get their wives or /girlfriends /significant others? We don't judge, right?
No, we don't judge.
Into firearms.
We don't judge.
Oh.
You want to take the first one there?
Sure. I definitely would encourage it to be something that y'all could do together, somewhat of a date. It seems very popular, actually. When we've been at the range, I've seen a lot of couples coming in, and it's something that you can do. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's someplace nice to go, and you can do together, kind of get away from everything and
Blow off
and
some
just,
steam.
Yeah,
Relieve a little stress.
absolutely. Good stress reliever.
What about you, Pepper?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, what Mrs. Zeke said. A good way to get your significant other in it is yell out all the guns that you see in TV, movies.
Who does that?
Not me.
Every
Not
time
you
there's a
either.
gun, you tell what it
do that.
is.
Never do
No,
that.
that's fun. That's fun.
Or
to-
point out the flaws about
Yeah.
what they're doing wrong.
Did you see? Did you see her shoot that 7 times? Because that's impossible. Because the magazine only holds 5,
Every time you watch a movie, you pick out every single gun in the movie.
and then you rewind it and you said, "Count them."
I did that the other night.
Oh, you're watching on the.
I was
on
like,
the
there's
move,
no
or-
way that they. I said, count the bullets, how many times they shot. I said, that only holds
That only
6
holds.
bullets.
More,
They
ma-
shot 7 bullets.
more magical bullet factories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those crazy
Yeah, they
Hollywood
have.
kooks.
Also, the competition aspect of it be really fun
That's
for
fun with
those
us.
couples that are a little more competitive or that kind of drives some passion. That's a great way to say, hey, well, let's compete on this a little bit.
Absolutely.
As a female, what advice could you give our male listeners to get their companions into it?
Just,
How did I
involve
persuade you?
them. How did-
I just took you out.
Yeah, you kind of said, "Come on,
Kidnapped you
let's
and
go." This is what we're doing. You're getting your permit. You're going to shoot this gun.
But it was all for
Yeah,
love.
it was fun.
Because I love you.
Yeah, and we had fun.
You know, it's really important too that when you get your spouse, girlfriend, significant other into firearms and self-protection, that you encourage them to train, that you encourage them to go with you to the range, go to the trainings, get your carry permit, get additional classes that you can take, just get educated in firearms itself. That way, it's not just females that are uncomfortable with guns when they first get them. I mean, males are. The first gun I had, I was scared when I had it because I'd never shot it. But as soon as you start shooting it, as soon as you start learning more about it, you get more comfortable. You get more comfortable with it being in the house, and it's not quite as much of a big deal. So for a lot of people, you know, we had a listener, we call him JKL. He said it seems like a battle in itself just to get all that education in there. But it's important. It's
Well, there has to be a desire and a want on the other party's end as well.
You can't force it.
So you've got to make it as interesting and as fun as possible. And everybody's different. Everybody's got their own little thing that makes them tick. You know, only you're going to know what's going to motivate them to maybe go that way with them.
One
So
other.
there's not a magic answer for that.
Did you say you already had your carry permit, Pepper?
I took this class, and then it expired. I went to get my permit. The cameras were down, so they weren't doing them. And then it expired.
Oh,
I know.
yeah. We've got to get
I know.
Mrs.
She didn't
pretty soon, too.
procrastinate at all.
I did.
Going to the last day.
I did procrastinate a little bit.
When y'all do carry, where do you think? How do you think you'll carry? And I know there's some unique ways for women to carry. I was going to kind of discuss a couple of those.
I don't know. I probably in my purse. I would
Purse.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. She's got, with her profession that she does, they can't carry.
What about like a tactical pin? Have you seen those?
You know, with her profession, with what she does as an actress,
Okay.
obviously they can't just freely, openly carry while they're, filming a TV show or movie or commercial or something like that. So obviously, she's probably going to, when she's in that scenario, have the purse kind of.
To an extent, I kind of understand that, especially on certain shows that may have guns in the show, because you never, ever, ever want to get a prop gun confused with a real gun. I mean, there's been accidents that have happened. Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. That's how he died. They had accidentally loaded real ammo into a prop gun, and he got shot filming one of the scenes in The Crow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see why they would prohibit carrying on set, but I would think also there's probably pretty good security on movie and TV sets, right?
There is, yes. We
Yeah.
have security every location, 4, 5, 6 security guards.
Do
That's
they pat people down?
They don't.
They don't.
They
So
don't,
They don't really
no.
check.
So there's the illusion of good security at movie and TV
Well,
sets.
that's true. I've never seen anybody be patted down. No, but
You know what's going to be funny now? All the listeners are going to be going, "Who is that? Who's her voice?" I think it's it's going to be fun. Mrs. Zeke, how are you planning to carry? Same thing, purse.
There's some complications about locations that you can go and carry and things like that with children. So
Okay.
I have to be think
Conscious
about
of
that.
that. Well, one good thing, I don't know if everybody noticed on Twitter and Facebook, I posted this week the state legislature in Tennessee passed the guns in parking lot laws. So now you can have your gun in a parking lot as long as
You
it's
have it
in
in
your
your
vehicle
car. Yeah.
on a school property. Pretty much any property in Tennessee now, except courthouse, federal courthouse,
Federal places.
federal property, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean that was a good small step for
That
us
is
in Tennessee.
That is a huge step for us in Tennessee to battle what's going on a national level.
And you were talking about carrying in purses. They've got those special purses out there that have they're basically tactical purses, and they'll have hidden compartments where your gun can stay and be holstered properly. You never want to just throw a gun in a purse with lipstick and pins and everything because it can get caught in the pin and pull a trigger.
And as you're digging
go
around
off.
trying to find something.
Right.
Yeah.
And these purses have like zippers on the side. One of my favorite holsters that they have for females. Have you seen the flashbang? Mm-mm. It's called the flashbang. It's a bra holster.
Nice.
And it's up in your bra, like from the bottom, and you have to lift your shirt and pull it out. That's why they call it the flash bang. And they have sold a ton of them. They're huge because they're very, very concealed.
Are they huge?
the sales of the
Really
holsters. The holsters are really, really huge sales.
so when you're being attacked by somebody, you say, "Excuse me, let me show you my."
So it's that
Right.
distraction.
And they think
Yeah.
they're going to get a
Yeah.
show, and
Let me
they're
show you my.
I guess that has the same effect as the pink gun for a male.
Yeah.
The
to get
distraction.
that,
gun.
that instant of discombobulation.
That's right.
It's like, hey, what's going on here? I'm going to get a peep show, and not the peep show I wanted.
A pop show. Pop. No, I'm editing that. That was stupid.
No, you're going to leave that in.
No.
You leave my stupid stuff in.
I
so
do.
You're leaving yours in.
Okay,
too.
that one's staying in. Pop show. Yay.
Yay.
So our listener Keith wrote in. We asked everybody to give some input on what they want to hear from significant others. Keith said, we're talking about pink guns. He said, if she wants pink on the gun, make sure you can take it off if things don't work out with you. Then he goes on to say, by the way, great show, guys. Y'all definitely make my day on the road go by a lot quicker. Oh, this is Keith Roussel. Because I couldn't say his name last time.
Boo. We're going to start calling him Boo.
Boo.
It's
He
Boo.
says, I know y'all ain't Cajun coon-ass, but sounds like Boo-cell.
Cajun coon-ass.
Just Roussel. And I want to say, I lived
Le
in New
bon
Orleans.
temps roulé.
That's what I was going to say. I lived in New Orleans when I was in third grade. My mom's side of the family is French Cajun. So, Keith, le bon temps roulé.
There you go.
Got to throw that out there for him.
I took 2 years of French, so I knew
There you go.
when I saw
Let
it.
the good times roll is what that means.
Oh.
It's kind of a Cajun New Orleans thing. Oh, one other thing I wanted to talk about in the love and guns relationship thing. Us guys, we have a tendency to want stuff. And on this show, the stuff that we talk about are guns. So I wanted to find out some funny ways that guys hide their gun purchases from their wives / significant others. And I found some pretty good ones. One of my favorite ones was lying and saying,
Now, who's the jackwagon that leaves their phone on?
one of my favorite ones is lying and saying that you won it at a gun show or gun shop raffle. You just hoard the money for a little while, go get it, and say, honey, look, I won this in a
won.
drawing.
Now, Pepper, have I ever lied to you about a gun?
No,
Or
I don't believe so.
anything? I just tell you, don't I?
Yeah.
Mrs. Zeke,
Oh, yeah.
I've lied to you
No,
about
no.
it?
I'm sorry. No, you just tell me.
Yeah. We got a pretty good relationship when it comes to guns.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah, I got her a Glock 17 and a ultralight 38 special. Another one. I sent out the message and somebody said that people hide their guns and everything, but he said be careful because that's why he's now divorced.
Yeah.
He didn't hide all his purchases. That's why he got divorced. He did not hide any of his purchases.
Apparently,
So
that
he
wasn't a
just-
good relationship anyway.
Yeah, he was probably
She's
going
gonna
to
be
get out of that one
jonesing
pretty
over
quick.
him owning guns. You needed to dump her anyway.
Another funny one, I've heard of guys carrying the gun into the house slowly, piece by piece. Like sticking them in the pocket and then putting that piece on and eventually having the gun in the safe. And, honey, where did that gun go? Oh, I've had that for a while.
Of course, there's always the excuse of it was inherited.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That and my buddy had so many, he just gave me this one. Kind of like that AR you're going to give me tomorrow, right? Yeah, wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
The beauty contest isn't a lineup for you to pick one out.
I thought it was. Probably the best way to, one, get away with purchasing a new gun in a shared fiduciary household situation is to just put the gun on layaway. Show patience, sit back, pound some money away on it, and you eventually have your gun. And you're not spending a lot of money right off the bat. That's what I
Good way.
found.
If you can
That
find
is
a
a
place
good
that'll
idea.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of places
Smart.
will do that now. Some of them are kind of strict. It's like 60-day layaway.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, but there's a lot of places that'll do like 6-month, 8-month layaway.
Another good excuse is, oh, you didn't know I had that?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had that for years.
That's been there forever.
That's been in the safe for years, honey.
She's not paying very good attention.
And that's going to go into my fact to fight the myth. So we'll get to that one here in a minute.
Okay. All right.
Let's go into the trivia from last week. And thank you once again to the Nashville Armory. Andrew, the general manager of the Nashville Armory, has given us a awesome gift
Kudos to Andrew.
to the point where I kind of wanted to win the drawing, but that's not real possible.
And that's another
Ed
thing.
could.
People
Your
need to
version
know
of Ed.
that I'm not part of the AR beauty contest, but I'm just posting.
He's just trying
I'm
to
not
light a
gonna-
fire under.
I'm not gonna win.
Yeah, those won't
I'm not
go.
gonna take-
Trivia question from last week was, what gun does Herschel snipe with from the guard tower in Season 3, Episode 1? Left hand?
That would be the M4A1,
Carbine, right?
the carbine,
Beautiful little gun.
semi-automatic.
Semi-auto.
So it was not an assault rifle.
There was a bonus answer, and the bonus answer was what was weird about that gun that only gun guys would get right. We had a lot of answers that were technically right, but we were looking for one specific thing, and if you really, really looked at that video or that picture, you would
It's pretty
find it.
obvious. Yeah.
The people said unlimited ammo, which was true. He seemed to have unlimited ammo. They said absolutely no recoil. Yeah, that's true too. There was no recoil, but that's
There's
all
very
the
little
Walking Dead
recoil
guns.
for an M4 anyway.
Right. But the thing that was really weird, and one guy got it right, it had an aim point sight on there that was mounted backwards. And if you go to and find a picture of it, you'll see that the aim point sight is mounted backwards. And TJG was the only one to get this right. So we're giving him a shout out just in case he doesn't win the drawing. But TJG got that extra bonus on there. So now it's time for the drawing. Oh, I didn't say what the actual prize was, did I? Mm-mm. I was thinking Andrew and Andrew, the general manager of Nashville Army, gave us this. It is a very nice Glock range bag.
That's
very, very
sweet.
nice. That is a very, very nice gift.
Tell you, who won it? What's his name?
No, nobody won it yet. We haven't done the drawing yet.
Oh, we're going to do the drawing.
yeah,
Okay.
you almost
I was
gave it
gonna
away to somebody.
say- Well, I know. I was going to say, I'm having to keep it away from you so you don't take it.
I'm going to run away with it.
I was going to say I had to beat you off the bag.
I am going to do. We didn't have that many. We had 6 people get drawing entries, so we're going to do. They're all shuffled up, and let's let Pepper pick a number between 1 and 6.
4.
4. Jason E. Congratulations, Jason E. is going to get that Glock range bag.
Go, Jay.
Awesome, Jason.
Good job, Jason. So
Jason
he got
loves Pepper.
he got those questions right. Congrats.
Let's jump to facts to fight the myth.
Okay.
Pepper's got to get back on set.
All right, let's do it. It's time for facts to fight the myths. So I'm going to start with my little myth.
No? Well, let's let Pepper go. So she's
that's
gotta
right.
go.
Pepper's got to leave, so we're going to let her go. Pepper, your fact to fight the myth.
My fact to fight the myth has to do with incorrect terminology in movies and TV. Pistol is not a synonym for handgun. Revolvers and pistols are both handguns, but revolvers are not pistols. Bullets are the projectiles, not the loaded rounds of ammunition. Those are cartridges. Magazines are not clips, and vice versa. A magazine contains ammunition and may or may not be removable. Clips only hold ammo together until it's time to put that ammo into a magazine or a revolver cylinder.
My biggest pet peeve is when people call magazines clips.
Or when our vice president says a magazine that can hold lots of clips.
You know why they do that? Do you know why they do that? To piss us off.
Yeah.
They know that it's like nails on a chalkboard, and that's why they do that. Jackwagons.
I thought because they like gangsta rap.
They like gangsta rap. Mm-hmm. I think they just like pissing us off. Sorry, Pepper. Go ahead.
That's okay. And the last one is semi-automatic firearms are not machine guns, nor are they assault rifles, no matter how military-like they appear.
Bingo.
Those are my facts to fight the
Very
myth.
cool.
Good job.
Thank you, Pepper.
You're welcome.
Thanks, sweetie.
You're welcome. Goodbye, everybody. I have to go
Bye.
back to work.
All right, so Mrs. Zeke, what is your fact to fight the myth?
My fact to fight the myth is that children should be kept away from guns for their own safety.
That's the myth.
That's the myth, yes. So now I'm going to tell you the facts
Awesome.
that fight that myth.
Awesome.
0% of children that receive guns from gifts from their parents commit gun-related crimes, whereas 21% of those children that get guns by stealing them actually commit crimes. Also, in the 1950s, if you many might remember, children routinely played cops and robbers, were given BB guns. Every little boy had a BB gun. Small rifles, hunting rifles, before age 12. And the homicide rate in the 1950s was half that of the 1980s.
Wow.
So,
Probably every little kid was getting rifles and BB guns back then, and we had less gun violence than we do now.
it's true.
Very interesting. Well, my fact to fight the myth goes back to something that Left Hand said earlier, how women just can't tell what guns you have in the safe. They're genetically incapable of recognizing different guns. That's a myth. My wife, especially, I can pretty much guarantee that she would be able to tell if she walked into our gun safe. Not saying our gun safe is a walking gun safe. We don't have this huge, gigantic gun safe.
Look in the gun safe.
If she looked in our gun safe, she would be able to tell if I got something new. If there was something there that didn't belong, that wasn't supposed to be there anymore. So be careful. You never know. If you've gotten your wife's significant other into the firearms lifestyle, she's probably learning. She's learning a little bit there. All right, Left Hand, it's your turn. Fact to fight the myth.
Myth number 4 of the day. Women shouldn't have guns because men will only take them away to use against them. That's got to be one of the most misogynist myths there are out there. It goes along with anything. It's training. It's being trained to how to properly not only maintain, use, but also how to defend yourself, in certain situations. So that's why defensive handgun training classes are very important. Just because it's a woman with a gun doesn't mean that she's going to be able to have that gun taken away from her. That's ludicrous.
If they're trained well, there's not going to be an issue.
I mean, that's the thing. And even if they're not trained well, I mean, how ferocious are women? You try to take something away from them, they're not likely.
Well, you just heard my wife's background. I'm not going to try to take anything from her.
So, that's my myth.
Good
the
myth.
simple truth
Good
is
fact.
that he'll just take her gun away scenario is wallowing all the worst condescending stereotypes inflicted on women. So don't underestimate women.
So we got some good listener feedback this week. Got a couple of good letters. I'm going to abbreviate this one pretty much, but it's still a good little email. He said, "Hello, men behind the mic. Let me start off by saying, born and raised in Georgia. I've been around guns most of my life. My dad took me hunting when I was 12. Gave me a Marlin 30-30 when I was 14, taught me how to shoot, and the 4 rules plus some. He did not, however, teach me about guns. I therefore never developed a passion for them. He never learned the differences between calibers, models, makes, history, just how to safely point and shoot. Well, with everything going on, I'm quickly learning that our second right should be a little more important to me and that I should do a bit of research. So it starts. He's watched a few of the Hickok 45 videos. He's looked at a few websites. Though for everyone, there seems to be another to contradict what it first says. So that's true on the interwebs. I've read most of the Concealed Carry Digest by Masad Ayub, and I turned to good old iTunes for a podcast or two. My first was This Week in Guns, Bans and Confiscations, where I heard Zeke. I immediately started downloading the Talking Lead podcast, episode 1. That was midnight Saturday. I finished the latest episode 7 on my way home today. It's pretty cool.
How about that? When would he send this? A couple of days ago?
He sent this today, I believe.
Today?
Mm-hmm. Today or yesterday. One of the two. So 3 days he went through all 7 episodes. Bravo, guys, bravo. This is exactly what I was looking for. Talking Lead to me is a free-spirited, free-flowing podcast. And my head is growing freely as I read this.
I can see. Those headphones are coming up.
Expanding. I'm just kidding.
Is he that way at home too?
No, not at all.
It's just like when my friends and I get together and talk about video games, movies, comics, RPGs. I like the chemistry you two have with each other. I think it also helps out that the two of you are both novices. I feel like it's much easier to follow along. I know some people complain about the sound quality, but honestly, it's better than many other shows. But we've worked that out. Thank God.
And
I think we get the hang of the sound. But it seems for the most part you've taken care of that. And then he goes on to ask us for some advice on stuff. I'm actually in the middle of typing you up an email with some good resources. I'll get that to you very soon. He's created a list of certain things, and he's got some opinion. He'd like our opinions on some of the gun choices that he has. He's narrowed it down to 3. I'm going to give him some of our opinions, and if the listeners want to post on Facebook and Twitter to kind of throw out their input too, that's kind of what we wanted to do the show for, is to get listener input. So he's narrowed it down to the Beretta PX4 Storm Type F subcompact, the Sig Sauer P250 subcompact, and the LC9 LM. Okay, I'll let you be now. Keep up the great work and the awesome show, Jerome. So thank you very much, Jerome. I should be getting that email out to you probably this weekend. Get you some good resources, and hopefully we'll get some good input from the listeners on those 3 guns.
Yeah. What's your personal opinion on those guns?
I like those PX4 Storms. I really like those Berettas. They're kind of neat.
I really thought I wanted one of those.
Uh-huh.
But when I actually got one and held it and shot it, I was a little disappointed.
Well, that's the only thing. With me, the only one I've shot of these three is the LC9, and I liked it. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Yeah, the Ruger, the LC9, that's one I want to add to my collection. Really
Maybe I
like
need
the
to
looks
shoot
of
the
those.
other two. I'll go shoot a couple of these before I give them a full.
I'm not a
opinion on
big
the three.
Sig Sauer person either, but I do like the P250s. the
Sig,
subcompact.
Sig kind of has the
The
following.
ones with the rail. They make one with the rail,
Yeah.
one without the rail. I like the ones that have the rail.
Sig's kind of got a following like H&K does. They've got
Either
that.
love 'em or you hate 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you got a HK guy, he's HK all the way. Same thing with Sig. I've heard the same thing with them.
But see, I'm not that. There's, I like some Sigs, I like some HKs, I like some Glocks, but
Yeah.
I don't like them all.
And that's one thing where you and I both see eye to eye. We like guns.
Yeah.
I like all guns so far.
Yeah.
There's been a couple I like a lot less than other
It's
ones.
just like
but
you and I were talking yesterday, and you had an opportunity to get a Sig
P220.
220.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely hate those. I don't like anything about them. So,
It's kind of
but the
souped up 1911 looking
yeah,
thing.
but the 250, I like those. And there's some other Sigs. I like the Sig Scorpion. Have you seen those?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love those. The 1911 style.
You know
They've
that's a
got-
P220, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
The Scorpion's a big.
Mm-hmm. P220. It's just a different variant of the P220.
Okay, well, I like that variant. I mean, that's how I am with guns. I mean, it's just there could be something that just sets it off, or it doesn't. I like the color scheme. The grips that they have on those.
Mm-hmm. They're very nice.
But I don't like the full size. I like the one that's it's a little more compact.
Now, you already responded to Mr. Sean. You want to go ahead and talk to Mr. Sean?
Mr. Sean, the displaced Hoosier. So, Mr. Sean, message, loving the podcast. This last episode at Nashville Armory was the best yet. I kind of thought so too, didn't you?
I enjoyed it.
That was
It was definitely one of the funnest one to record.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. There was a lot going on there. That place was just
Wait,
absolutely
no.
packed.
This one is the best. I have my beautiful wife
Well-
here next to me.
But we have to say that after it's been released, and we can't say it yet because it hasn't been released. So the ones that's been released to date.
That's right. Up till this episode.
I would venture to say that the one with the general manager of the Nashville Armory would probably be better.
Oh.
But for the gun listeners.
I
To
love
date.
you.
Now, once this one airs and we listen to it, and this will be. But anyway, back to Mr. Sean. The last episode of Nashville Armory was the best yet. I had the Smith & Wesson M&P R8 357 tactical revolver before it fell into the lake
Oh.
with the rest of my collection.
Yeah, that I'm hearing
the
that.
heck are
I'm
you
hearing that's happened to a lot of people because, with all this gun banning stuff, it's sad. People's guns are falling in a lake. So when they come to try to confiscate them, it sucks. They're not going to be able to
Oh,
get
I
them.
see what he's okay. During an
Yeah.
unfortunate fishing accident. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I mean it's sad.
That's right. That's what
It's really sad.
When we went fishing
I
last week.
feel bad for the people who
We
have
lost
to
all
try to-
our guns too, didn't we?
Right. Well, mine fell off a cliff into a bottomless pit of despair.
My dog ate mine.
Yeah, that's even better. Your dog could eat yours.
He's a big sweetie. Awesome firearm, and one that everyone reluctantly hands back. If 8 rounds of 357 Magnum aren't enough, I suggest you seek training and stay out of New York. EDC check.
Ooh, he's got one on us. What's his
Okay.
EDC check?
All right, he's checking us right here. Here's our EDC check. This is Sean's brand new H&K P30 V2 LEM 9mm. Can you tell me what all those acronyms are for, Zeke? While I'm reading the rest of this, see what
If you
that
give me time to look them up on the internet, I absolutely can tell you where. whichever
Anybody
one.
can, can't they? Haven't got the chance to fire it yet, but so far is the most comfortable and natural pointing pistol for me yet. Sounds like it. We'll have to check that one out. Love the use of the term jackwagon. I'd like to propose a new audience. Okay, so this is where we came up, and we
Right.
did take your advice.
Mr. Sean.
Mr. Sean is the one who proposed the jackwagon train, so we've added that segment as you heard earlier.
You know where the term jackwagon comes from? I looked this
Yeah.
up. I looked it up to make sure it wasn't anything perverted.
Back in the Western days, right?
In the
like
wagon,
the chuck wagon.
right? In the wagon train days, the wagon that was in the back of all the wagon trains was the feed wagon, the chuck wagon.
The chuck wagon, yeah.
And some people called it the jack wagon, and it was the slow wagon of all of them because it kept all the food.
Yeah.
So if somebody was acting stupid or doing something silly, they were a jack wagon. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like Dianne Feinstein.
the first official
Jack
Wagon
Wagoneer.
extraordinaire.
She's a Jack Wagoneer extraordinaire.
That's right. I think she is she's the engineer of the Jack Wagon train.
She's the engineer. Yeah. So anyway, I really think this could take off on social media and increase the Facebook and Twitter followers. Keep up the excellent work, Mr. Sean. And as you can see already, Mr. Sean, we have taken your suggestions and run with it. So thank you for that.
We're going to use that. We had some new iTunes reviews. First one, BD Saint 88 gave us 5 stars. Said expected nothing less from the guys at Talking Lead. Great podcast and a great way to learn about all things firearms.
I think Mrs. Zeke should read the next one.
Yes, Big G of AZ rated 5 stars. And keep up the good work on the cast, guys. Jim and Phoenix.
We got Myers 431. Great listen, 5 stars. It's nice to hear about some intelligent good old boys talking about firearms.
Intelligent
Intelligent good old boys. I like that. Make sure everybody to go to iTunes, write reviews, because like I said last episode, that's what helps us get seen by more people searching on iTunes. It gets us up at the rankings. We're actually up to number 10. We were at number 4 at one point this week when we got a few reviews. It dropped back down to number 10, but that's still pretty good. We were beating out the gun guys at one point.
Were we really?
Yeah, I mean, they're part of our Firearms Radio Network. We love them to death, but it was kind of cool. I texted Jake and I said, hey, dude, did you see it? We're at number 4 and y'all are at number 8. And he goes, yeah, it's a glitch. So I was like, yeah, I was all excited. And then about a couple hours later, I checked to see our rankings. They jumped up to number 4 and we bumped down to number 6. And I was like, dadgummit, I knew I should have got a screenshot of that just to, prove it to him. Mm-hmm. He said, no, never happened.
So
doesn't exist
there
now.
There you go.
So don't forget to do that. Don't also forget to go to Ruger.com. We mentioned it a few episodes ago. If you go to Ruger.com, they've got a little app there where you can fill out your name, address, phone number, and they will generate a letter and send it to all the senators and legislators.
And that's just one site that you can go to. The more sites you go to, the more letters that are sent, the more these senators and representatives are going to be inundated with voices, our concerns about what's going on Capitol Hill. So take part, be active, visit those sites. And we'll post some more on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, we definitely will. We hope you all enjoyed our little abbreviated version of Talking Lead this week for our Valentine's. Thank you so much to my beautiful wife, Mrs. Zeke.
And thank you so much for my beautiful little sweetheart, Pepper, for coming in.
Yep. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and we'll see you next time. Left hand, as always, keep your loved ones close.
Keep your firearms closer.